Welcome back to Timeout with J and G. I am Jay, and that's G over there. How you
Yeah.
doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Good, good. It's a Saturday. It's the weekend. We always love that.
Yes, it is.
So it's been an exciting couple of days since our last episode.
Yeah, we shouldn't say a big trade deadline, but it was interesting to say the least.
It, I think, it was definitely toned down. The past couple of years, we had like the Kyrie, Kevin Durant trade, the other Kevin Durant trade. Like we've had some superstars in the past couple of years get traded, and there wasn't anything. I think who was probably the best player was probably Bojan Bogdanovic getting traded,
But
maybe.
probably Bojan. I'd either say Bojan or Buddy Hield.
Yeah, or PJ Washington maybe,
Yeah,
but like
maybe.
it wasn't a very I don't know, like, yeah, it wasn't a lot going on there. But hey, we'll get into that here in a couple seconds. We first want to do our timeouts moment of the week. What do you got for us, Levi?
All right, so this happened. I believe this was a lower class of division in college basketball. I'm pretty sure, but Merrimack's Jordan Durkak, I think that's his name. I don't know. I don't know. The pronunciation probably is off, but he stole the ball, went down, and when he dunked it so ferociously that the you know how in basketball, college and pros they have like that stationary thing that comes out.
Oh yeah, okay.
He dunked it and with so much force that the whole thing just went back down.
Oh, that's insane.
Like we haven't seen something like that since Shaq did it. But I seen it, I was like, damn. And there was a guy on the other team standing under the basket, and the basket bunked him in the head.
We don't need somebody getting hurt because of a dome.
It wasn't that force. The impact wasn't that forceful. It was kind of like a bop on the head. But
Hey,
just to see that nowadays with how everything's reinforced is crazy.
that's what we need, man. We need to start bring back the glass backboards. Let them shatter glass backboards.
Just have just have a third basket just ready in case someone does that.
I mean, I don't see why not.
I
Like,
mean,
what is school? You know how schools have it. Like, usually for schools, it's they usually have four baskets, right? Because it's like the two on the edge, like that go with the court. But for some reason, along the width wise, they usually also have two more. So like they have backup plans. They're fine.
yeah, you can make it work. However, it'll be
So
fine.
yeah, all right. Well, we'll move on from that. Maybe we'll see some more shattered backboards in our day. But the biggest thing was on Thursday at 3 p.m. was the NBA trade deadline, and as we said earlier, wasn't exactly groundbreaking. Honestly, let's be honest. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the trade deadline as a whole?
Uh, like a 6, 5, or 6. It's kind of just mediocre.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
like
I yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
like we were talking about earlier. KD, Kyrie, the big name trades that happened the past couple of years.
Hmm.
This was kind of like a toned down, as it was kind of like a normal trade deadline because like there was no superstar player that was quote unquote getting traded unless the Bulls would have actually did what everyone thought they should have done. But
Yeah, yeah,
that's for another day.
yeah. And it's like I don't know. I don't know. Like, yeah, I'd probably give it around 5 or 6 as well. Like, I didn't. There really wasn't anything too impactful going on. I think really all we saw was the Knicks get a little bit better, the 76ers get a little bit better. But if Joel Embiid's out for the season, like they might be thinking, that's not gonna really matter much.
No, it won't. Not at all. Another surprise was DeJounte Murray not getting traded.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was the Hawks didn't really do too much at all, and that definitely did surprise me.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that the Pelicans would have went and tried to try to get Dejounte, but I guess either they were asking too much for Dejounte, or they were just like, nah, we're not going to trade him. But
Honestly, like if you look at it, nothing that was traded was worth anybody of Dejounte Murray's caliber. So they're probably just like, well, nothing's on. You know what I mean? Like the Hawks were probably on the market like, well, none of this is really worth it. So we're just not even going to bother.
that is true.
And I think that's a lot what happened with like maybe the Bulls with like Caruso and like DeMar. It's like we're not going to get anything. I mean, they said that they want to stay packed, so that's probably most of it. But it's like we're not just going to give you Alex Caruso because you know what I mean. It's like we want something back, and it just the same way with like the Hawks. Like you know, we're not just going to give you DeJounte Murray just so you can have DeJounte Murray. Like we want something back, and they probably just couldn't find it.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, who knows what goes on in the meetings at the trade deadline?
Plus, we could maybe at the end of the year, like maybe in the offseason, we'll see something.
I mean, hopefully it's an interesting offseason. I want to, especially with the free agents, I hope we can see some movement in the league. That'd be pretty cool.
I have a list here of all the trades. We're going to go through all the trades, big and small, which, you know, they're mostly small. Well, I'm just going to read out what teams got. We're just going to talk about it a little bit, blah, blah, blah. We'll get through that. So the first one here was actually a 3-team deal where the Phoenix Suns got Royce O'Neal and David Roddy. The Brooklyn Nets got Jordan Goodwin and Keita Bates-Diop with 3 second-round picks, and 2 of them were from Memphis because Memphis also got Yuta Watanabe and Chimezie Metu.
That was a lot.
Honestly, really, the only thing I'm seeing out of this is that the Suns get a solid bench forward in Royce O'Neal.
Yeah.
Just to kind of help them off the bench. And I mean, Yuta's a good shooter. It's just this is kind of a trade where the Suns kind of get a decent player. Nothing else really goes on.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just bench and role players just getting switched around and like, would you say 3 second rounders?
Yeah, 3, which is 2 from Memphis, and we get the ones from Phoenix, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that trade's pretty. For the Suns, I think. Hey, you know, you got a good bench player, which is what you need. You need something, right? So for the Suns, I don't mind it, but the Nets and the Grizzlies, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
So the next one is the Pacers acquiring Corey Joseph from the Warriors. The Pacers got Corey Joseph, and the Warriors got a second-round pick. So pretty much just giving away Corey Joseph. And before let me pull up because I don't even know how much. I'll be real with you. Corey Joseph isn't going to play much,
no.
right? Because you have Tyrese Halliburton, you got T.J. McConnell, and you got Andrew Nembhard as your where Corey Joseph isn't going to fit into that rotation much at all. So I don't
know. That's like those 2 trades were weird. I know that I think the Corey Joseph one was like basically at the buzzer.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It might just be. I really don't. It is what it is.
Maybe the Warriors were just trying to get some extra draft capital. Who knows?
Next one is the Blazers getting Delano Banton from the Boston Celtics, and the Boston Celtics got a heavily protected second-round pick. Now, all this is heavily protected. Has it came out what the protections are on that second-round pick?
No, I haven't really been looking, and then again, it's a second-round pick. I think the Celtics were just trying to create an open space, if anything.
I guess. I mean, Delano Banton probably hasn't. I don't think he's played too much this year for you guys.
No, only when we've had blowouts or when we got blown out.
And I don't think he's going to play anymore for the Blazers either. I mean, you got Scoot, Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe. Like, I mean, he's going to get more playing time with the Trailblazers just because they're bad, and they're going to get him in there. So I think it's just a Trailblazers maybe being like, hey, listen. We'll throw we'll give you a heavy projected second round pick. We'll just take a chance on Delano. It's like he's probably not gonna be much, but he could be a rotational player for us.
Yeah, because I mean with the Celtics, not really much is gonna happen for him to play unless he goes down to the G League or something like that. But you know, hope he pops off in Portland.
Mm-hmm. So our next trade is the 76ers sending guard Jaden Springer to the Celtics for a second-round pick.
I mean, Jaden Springer. I think it's Jaden, right?
Yeah, Jaden Springer.
Yeah, I mean, I watched him a little bit at Tennessee, but when he came out of Tennessee, I thought he should have waited another year to come out. But I mean, he can shoot the 3 ball and defend a little bit. So,
which that keeps you a job in the NBA. You can do those 2 things. You're gonna have a job. But I think what it kind of confused me is that you gave up Banton for a second-round pick, and then give up a second round pick to get Jaden Springer. It's like I don't.
Maybe they wanted Jaden Springer, but the 76ers didn't want Banton. So they had to figure out a way to get him. I don't know.
Well, no, it's not the same. It's not the same second round pick they used, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I was just kind of confused what the thought process is there. But I mean, I guess Jaden Springer, I don't know. Kind of same thing with the Blazers. Like maybe we'll just take a flyer on a guy, but he's not going to play. So
he was playing. He was coming off the bench for the Sixers since Embiid went down. Granted, he's a guard, but I don't know. That was just weird. I think they were just trying to create a roster spot to get him on there because when they got Tillman, that filled everything up. And they traded Banton to get the roster spot, and they traded for Springer.
That's fair. That's fair. Our next trade is the Spurs trading Doug McDermott to the Pacers. So the Pacers got Doug McDermott, and the Pacers got a 2029 second-round pick via the Clippers and Marcus Morris. So I think he's getting bought out. I thought I saw he might be getting bought out. Or maybe that was his brother. I think I saw something about that. For the Pacers, I mean, you're just basically getting the forward version of Buddy Hield. You traded Buddy Hield just to get the taller version, kind of.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
with the way they've been sending Jarris Walker down to the G League to play games and calling him back up, I think it's just a little bit more depth in the front court there. Just shooting. I mean, the teams can always use shooting.
Oh yeah, if you can shoot the three ball, you're gonna be in the NBA for a good bit.
And this was a trade. Listen, I know Shams and Woj were breaking trades, but we had a third source come out of nowhere and break a trade. Do you know that?
No, I did not.
Yep. Patrick Beverley was traded to the Philadelphia 76ers for Cameron Payne in the 2027 second-round pick. You know who broke that trade?
Who?
Patrick Beverley.
The man, the myth, the legend.
He himself went on and said, I've been traded to the Philadelphia 76ers. How he got that before Shams and Woj, I have no idea. I don't know how we got that out first, but I thought it was hilarious because I got the alert on my phone that he got traded. So I click on it thinking it's one of those accounts, and I see it's Patrick Beverley. I'm like, oh. So, like, I thought at first, I'm like, oh, this is just like a troll account, right? You know what I mean? Then I click, nope, that's Patrick Beverley breaking his own trade.
So, I mean, hey, maybe he's trying to get a jump start into what he wants to do after the NBA.
I guess, but I mean,
or maybe
I don't know if you saw Cam Payne had a hell of a game last night. He had he played 36 minutes. He had 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists. And I mean, for Cam Payne, that's probably I don't know if the last time dudes had 20 points. If I'm going to be real with you, him and Buddy played really well, even though the Sixers lost last night.
Yeah, I mean, the Sixers team is really missing that Embiid. That's just there's no way around it. Is there any word on Embiid? I know he's out at least 4 weeks.
Let me see here, because I don't. Yeah, I think that's the last thing I saw as well. But there might have been 6. Okay, this is from NBA.com. Sixers hopeful Joel Embiid can return from knee injury this season. Daryl Morey says feedback has been more good than bad since we first heard about what led to his procedure. So, while we're on this topic, I kind of want to talk about this a little bit. Because is it like, okay, how do I want to the 76ers have not been good. They're 4-12 without Embiid this year, and they're now down to the 5 seed. They're 2-8 in their past 10 games. Right? And like I said, they're not much. They're only 2 games out of the play-in, 2.5 games out of the play-in right now. At what point do you rush Embiid back and risk a further injury, a really, really serious injury? Or if you're in his free fall mode, you tank the season?
See, what I would do is I would, sit Embiid the 4 weeks, let him get healthy, and if the team is still like the 6th seed, you know what I mean? Like still at that point where we could just straight up make the playoffs, then I would talk to Embiid and be like, hey, we're out of the playoffs by this many games. Are you ready to go? And if he says, no, I'm not ready to go, then I'm sitting him the rest of the year, get him fully healthy, and then attack next year. But I wouldn't rush him back because then if he injures himself again and it's even worse, then you're risking a whole nother season if something goes bad.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, because they have this 4-week timetable, it doesn't mean he's going to be healthy in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's just like their hopeful timetable. They can come to this 4-week stretch and Embiid's only 75% healthy and you're free falling to the 7-8 seed. I'm not risking my superstar franchise player to get out the play-in.
Yeah,
And
no.
just
I mean, if they stay at that 5 seed continuously through the end, and it gets to like there's like 10 games left, and
Mhm.
if and we're like 1 game or 2 games away, and it beats healthy enough to where he's ready to go, like he's 85-90% ready to go, I would play him, but I would limit him. You know what I mean?
right.
Just get him out there, try and get enough to get the wins, so he can bump up in the seeding, just maybe by like 1. But
Yeah, I
I
mean,
would probably just shut him down for the year.
I was gonna say I'm more worried. Like I said, they've been awful without him, so I don't see any like reason they're gonna keep the 5 seed. You know what I mean? Like I said,
Yeah.
they're a game and a half, or they're 2 games behind above the Pacers right now for the 6 seed, and the Heat are only half a game behind that. The Magic are tied with that. It's like they probably won't fall past the 9 seed because the Bulls and the Hawks are the 9 and 10 seed. But like, if I'm the 76ers and we're at the end of the season, it's like, all right, do we bring Joel back and we're the 8 seed? I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. Because
Yeah,
it's like
no.
now I have to win my playing game and then I have to go to Boston. Well, I'm not doing that to Joel Embiid. I don't want him to be trying to do this. And like you said, he could hurt his knee and be out the whole next season. And now it's like, damn, we just ruined 2 years of it.
Yep. And
So
we
it's
already know that. And we already know that Embiid prior, I shouldn't say prior, but like when he got drafted, he had either ankle or knee
yeah,
injuries that kept him out. I think his first year or 2 years.
yep.
So like, do you want history to repeat, and then he misses 1 to 2 years, and then you're sitting here just like, damn, we
And
just
that's a
basically
crime.
just degraded and tore up our best player that we've had in years.
Like I said, in his prime, like he is in his MVP prime.
Oh yeah, if
And
he
to
does,
have him miss the whole season would just, oh my God, yeah.
if he doesn't get injured this season and he plays the rest of the year, he's MVP.
I agree.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, you could kind of argue maybe Shea or Jokic, but since he's not injured, it's up between Shea or Jokic. But if Embiid
Giannis
plays,
has been really good too. I mean, the Bucks have been kind of struggling, but Giannis has been really good too.
yeah, he has been. But if Embiid stays healthy and plays the rest of the year, Embiid's MVP, hands down.
I agree. He was my favorite before he got hurt, and I don't know, but I just didn't want to go on too long of a tangent there. I'm I'm worried the 76ers are going to rush him back and really, really, really screw him up.
I hope they don't for basketball's sake. That is just it would be a very bad detriment to happen.
All right, so we'll get back on here. And the next is one we kind of talked about is the Dallas Mavericks trading Grant Williams, Seth Curry, and a 2027 first-round pick to the Hornets for P.J. Washington.
I mean, I, I don't know. I mean, you don't get better, but you don't get worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's like Grant to start the season. Grant Williams was playing really well for the Mavericks for like the first 3 to 4 weeks. He was playing really well, and then all of a sudden, he just hasn't been very good. And you have him signed to a 4-year deal, and Seth Curry barely was just not touching the floor at all anymore. But giving up a first-round pick for P.J. Washington, 2027, I don't. I mean, you're probably gonna have Luka still on that team, so it probably won't. It'll be outside the lottery, but it's just like I don't know. I don't dislike the trade, but I don't like it either.
I mean, one of the reasons that they might have had to give up the first round pick is because of Grant's contract.
More to like get off his contract. You're right. It could
Get his contract off the books, and then Hornets was like, "Yeah, we'll do this trade, but we need something more because we're taking on this contract."
It could be. It could be. And there's been there's been some reports that like he just has not fit in with that Mavericks team. I don't. That's a lot of like whatever. I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he is a goofy guy outside of on the court,
Mhm.
but like on the court, I mean, you know how much we all know how much of a hothead Luka is and how many texts he gets in a season.
Yeah.
Grant has 8 texts already.
Yeah.
And I feel like most of them were him. He even said to Luka during a game that said, "Hey, let me take the tech. We can't lose you."
Right. Yeah.
So some of them texts might have been him defending Luka or something like that. I know there was like two of them when him and Booker got into it, and then when him and LeBron got into it.
There's also that video. I don't know if you've seen it. That video's been circling the past couple of days of like Grant on the bench messing around and like laughing around with Kyrie, and Kyrie's just like not having it. So I'm assuming Kyrie and him probably don't get along very well, and that was probably one of the driving factors.
I
But
mean,
Kyrie doesn't seem like he likes anybody from Boston. So
yeah, I mean, he spit on the leprechaun, and then we 4-0'd the Nets that season. So
yeah,
I
hey,
don't really care for Kyrie as it is, but it is what it is. One of the better point guards in NBA history, got probably top 3 handles of all time. So
yeah, and I don't know. I think I'm curious to see because PJ Washington has always been on a sorry ass Hornets team. Like PJ Washington has never been in a winning situation. The Mavericks aren't exactly a winning situation, but they're a better team, right? The Hornets haven't won a game in weeks now, like legitimately. They're on the losing streak too. So I'm curious to see from both ends, like, is PJ Washington going to lock in more defensively, or are you going to get a better version of PJ Washington because they're actually fighting for a playoff spot? And then for the other side, for Grant, but he's going to have more free reign now.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like he's going to have more green lights to shoot, and he's playing with LaMelo, who's a pretty damn good passer. So you might see both these guys. Maybe I'm going to be real with you. I think PJ Washington's stats are going to go down, but his value is going to go up. And Grant, because he's not on a winning team, his value is going to go down, but his stats might go up.
yeah. The only thing about that whole thing is now it is statistics. I know people are just like, don't look at the stats, look at the gameplay, but I think this season PJ is shooting 32% from 3 and Grant shooting 36.
Right.
And Grant's average is like 38 and PJ's is like 35.
Okay.
So I mean, Grant's the better shooter, but then it's just like, well, how much is PJ actually going to get the ball to make a play, one on one or on his
Right.
own?
Right. And that is something PJ is a little bit better than Grant Williams is with like putting the ball on the floor,
Yeah,
making plays like that. So, but I don't know how much you're going to see that in Dallas.
yeah,
So,
because you got Kyrie, you got Luka, you got Tim Hardaway, you got Josh Green, who's coming on lately. In the past couple weeks, he's been playing very well.
we'll see though. We'll definitely see. We'll have to keep track of that 2027 first round pick because depending who depending who Charlotte gets with that could definitely be something. You never know. Now we have the Toronto Raptors are trading Dennis Schroeder and Thad Young to the Nets, and they got back Spencer Dinwiddie, who they've already waived or they bought out, and he's signing with the Los Angeles Lakers.
I mean, I feel like that was more of a I think Toronto just trying to get cap space.
It's got to be.
More or
Yeah,
less.
they literally traded. Dennis Schroeder's been good for them this year. They traded him away just to cut the guy they traded for.
Probably just get cap space. That's about the only thing that I can think of. But as a Lakers fan, are you happy about the Dinwiddie pickup?
No, it doesn't excite me at all. If I'm going to agree with you, it doesn't excite me at all. I mean, I think he'll be a decent backup point guard. Like we're not any worse with him on the team. You know what I mean? But I don't. He's not bringing enough so I'm like, oh yeah, okay, we got Dan. You know what I mean? Like he's not. It's just like, oh okay, cool. We'll have a better backup point guard. But it's like, I don't know. I'm not. Like I said, I'm not excited about it, but I don't hate it.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, how Dinwiddie's going to come off the bench, obviously.
Yeah, and he's on like a $1.5 million deal, so it's like there's no stock put into him. So like really honestly, the more you think about it, it's like they're not paying him much of anything. They got him in a buyout market. So anything he does good is just a plus. You know what I mean? There's not really any negative. There's no like negative side of this signing. It's not like he's making $15 million a year, and if he sucks, it's like, damn, we're paying this guy 50. It's like, no, you're paying him 1.5. If he sucks, oh well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but then on the flip side for the Nets, do you think getting Dennis Schroeder helps them long term, or
I don't think he's
No,
going to be there long term.
you don't
I,
think so?
I really don't. I don't know if I can find his contract here. I don't know if they have it on. Dang, I'm gonna see if I can find that real quick because I don't know how long his contract is. It could just be a contract type of thing because sorry, my thing's being real slow right now.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
What's here we go. Spot Rec is a fantastic. So he's got this year and then next year he's making $13 million.
Oh,
But he's been pretty good this year. So like, I think he's going to be their starting point guard. You know what I mean? I think is he going to be the starting point guard next season? I don't know, but I mean, he's been fun this year, and I think that's really what the Nets are doing. They're just trying to get some fun stuff going, and I don't think it's really more than that.
yeah. I mean, the Nets, what they're in the play-in or right outside the play-in?
Yeah. I think they're right outside it.
Who knows? Who knows? With teams like this, that Dennis Schroeder acquisition could pay dividends for them, and then they jump up a couple seeds.
They could jump the Bulls and the Hawks. You never know.
And yeah, you never know. I think the Bulls are gonna drop
Very much. So here's, I would say, the biggest trade of the trade deadline, right? You have the New York Knicks trading the contract of Evan Fournier, Malachi Flynn, Quentin Grimes, Ryan Archie Connect, oh my God, Ryan, and two second-round picks to the Detroit Pistons for Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks.
I think the Knicks took the W on this one. I really do. They're in the mix. I think what are they, the 2 seed now? Or 3 seed?
They dropped. I think there might be a 3 seed.
But still, you're fighting for that top spot in the East.
They're the 4 seed. They're a half a game behind the Bucks.
You're fighting for that spot. You know, the 2nd seed or the 3rd seed.
Yeah.
And now you just added Alec Burks, who somehow out of nowhere has been playing out of his mind.
Yeah, to start the season, he was kind of struggling, but he's really, really picked it up.
Like I was going through box scores for games, just checking stuff out, and then I'd see a Pistons game, and I'd look and Alec Burks is like 28. I was like, what?
And he was good from the last time he was in the Knicks. The last time he played for the Knicks, he was good. So maybe bringing him back to Madison Square Garden, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be great. Plus, bringing in Bojan. I mean, Julius Randle, I don't know if we know exactly how long Julius Randle's is out. Julius Randle's out for. So it's like you're bringing in a guy that's probably going to start. I don't see any reason he wouldn't start.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Knicks probably took the higher grade if you wanted to go A to F.
Yeah,
they made it out like a B plus, A minus.
I would agree
because they're a really good team. They literally traded some of the people that they don't play a whole lot and some picks, and they got 2 prolific scorers from that Detroit team.
Oh, by the way, Julius Randle will be reevaluated in about 2 weeks, so they still got a couple weeks. Same with OG is going to be out for about 2 or 3 weeks now. So
I mean, you kind of just
perfect timing getting Bojan and Alec Burks in.
Yeah, because now you can play them more because those 2 are going to be out, which that gives them better team chemistry and better, you know what I mean? It just makes everything better once those 2 come back, so they can play as a unit better. And let's be honest, I feel like the Knicks after that, I still don't think they're beating the Celtics, but they could give some teams a run for their money.
I think so. I mean, you're looking at a lineup of Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo. This is fully healthy. Dante, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, and off the bench, you got Josh Hart, Bojan, Alec Burks, Hartenstein. It's like you look at this team and you're like, damn, this is 10 to 11 guys that are like really good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They could be. I think they're going to finish as the 2 or the 3 seed, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Knicks back in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I think it depends how if they find the Celtics earlier, then no. But if they find the Celtics in the conference finals, that's what and if they finish the 2 seed, it wouldn't be until the conference finals.
If they finish as the 2 or the 3, then pretty much you practically just have to beat the 3 seed.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I don't think I don't think anybody in the East right now wants to see the Knicks. I understand the Celtics are like a leap and bound above everybody else right now, and they have by far the better starting talent. One thing the Knicks have on the Celtics right now is depth.
Yes, very
The
much
the
so.
Knicks damn near get a whole second starting lineup on their bench, and that's something I'm worried with the Celtics matchup, is that like you take Tatum and Brown off the court, now the Knicks are putting in Bojan and Alec Burks, and you're like, oh shit, which obviously they're not like. I'm not comparing talent to that, but it's like the Knicks are when the Knicks are going to the reserves, they're still bringing in really quality players.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the Celtics. I mean, if they're fully healthy, your sixth and seventh man off the bench are Horford and Hauser or Horford and Pritchard.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Which
it's
just
kind of
yeah.
it's kind of just like would I don't know. And then even past that, you still got for the Knicks Josh Hart,
Mhm.
Isaiah Hartenstein. On the Celtics, and you got Hauser and Cornette. That Knicks bench, I'm taking over the Celtics. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, they're just
That Knicks bench is better almost everywhere on that bench than the Celtics.
I think I'm gonna be honest. I think the Knicks won the trade deadline. I think they shored up their rotation where it's like I don't think it put them from like I don't think it made them like a title favorite, but it's like damn, okay, this team legitimately like they should be a contender at least.
Oh yeah, and also you never know. You know this is the NBA. Hell, the Heat went to the NBA Finals as what an 8 seed.
Yep,
Anybody can lose on any given day.
exactly.
And all it takes is one team to catch a hot streak from the 3-point line, and next thing you know, the Bucks is the 2 or 3 seeder done. The Celtics is the 1 seeded or 2 seeder done, and then the whole thing is opened up more than what it would be before.
Yeah. So all right, we'll move on here. And actually, I watched the guy that was in this trade. I watched earlier today, and damn, he was pretty good in his limited minutes. The Dallas Mavericks traded basically the contract of Rashawn Holmes, and it says draft compensation. I don't know if it came out what that is. To the Washington Wizards for Daniel Gafford. Did you get to watch the Mavericks game earlier today? I know you said you were kind of busy with something. That's why we're recording a little bit later.
Yeah, I didn't really get to watch it. I just kind of checked the stats, and Gafford I think had like 14 and 7 or something like that when I
19
checked.
and 9.
That I'm gonna be honest.
And it was like right off the gate. I think the first points he scored with the Mavericks was Luka throwing him a lob. And I'm like, oh shit. Oh, they shored up their backup center spot.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I mean, I don't think is Derek Lively playing right now.
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw him out there. I mean, you're gonna make me double check myself. I'm like 99% sure I saw him out there. Oh no, he is. You're right. He is hurt. Oh no, now I feel stupid. He's out for a little bit.
Okay. Because I mean, then that kind of opens up that spot for Gafford, where it's like, damn, he's playing really good. We can slide him in there instead of running Kleba at the 5.
Yeah.
And then when Lively is there, then you assured yourself a good backup center, like you said. And then when Lively can't play, then bam, you have Gafford.
I forgot he got hit in the face by Wendell Carter like earlier this week or last week, and he had like a surgery on his nose, but he shouldn't be out much longer. Talk about Derek Lively.
What?
I said that was Derek Lively I was mentioning about. He got hit in the face.
Oh yeah.
Playing against Wendell Carter, so he's out.
I mean, Derek Lively. I mean, he's been playing really good this season.
Yeah, and I think bringing in Gafford, you don't really have to play Dwight Powell much anymore.
Yeah, no, I think he had like 4 to 5 minutes. It was at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you kind of just shore up and you get another athletic center down there. So I mean, I feel like the Mavs, if we had to rank this, were probably the second place for winning the deadline.
Yeah.
Second or third.
Yeah, I think I would give you that one.
I mean, Knicks is obviously number 1. I mean, you can't really say anything about it, but any other trades?
Oh yeah, we still got more. This is maybe the second biggest trade, depending on the other one. Here we have the OKC Thunder trading Trey Mann, Micic, and the contract of Davis Bertans and draft compensation to the Charlotte Hornets for forward Gordon Hayward, right? And Gordon Hayward hasn't played in a little bit now. He's been out for a while, but he gives them size, which is, I mean, he kind of gives them size. It's just something they need. I mean, he's 6'7". One thing about the Thunder that I was kind of surprised, they didn't really trade for any big men, which is what they need. They need a backup center. They need something because they basically running Jalen Williams as their backup center. So I was surprised they didn't do that. But, I mean, you're bringing in a veteran, and that's something that team lacks too, a veteran player. So, yeah, you know.
I was kind of hoping that Andre Drummond or Andre Drummond from the Bulls.
Yeah.
Right? I was kind of hoping that he would get traded to OKC because that would be a good backup center for them because it gives them size and it gives them veteran leadership.
Yeah, and I know in my like trade prediction thing we did, I was hoping they would get Nicholas Claxton, but then the Nets decided they're not selling anything. So Drummond would have been like way more realistic and really nice for them.
Yeah, because I mean Drummond, if we go on contract standard, it's not that bad, and OKC with picks, they have what 30-something picks in the next couple drafts.
A lot.
So it's just like picks really shouldn't be that hard for OKC because like you want a first round pick. Okay, we have this one. Which one do you want?
Yeah, the only way I'm giving them a first round pick for Andre Drummond though is like a couple years down the line and heavy protected. Like, hey,
well yeah, you know what
30 pick, but it's lottery protected. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or like, hey, we'll give you like 3 second-round picks.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like they have enough draft picks where it won't really hurt them too bad to give up a couple of them.
Yeah, the only thing about, I guess the only reason Drummond maybe wouldn't be the best is that like they're committed to the youth movement, which is weird because they got Gordon Hayward, so maybe not. But it's like Andre Drummond really doesn't fit the timeline. He might be there for this season, and then that's it. You know what I mean? And two, Andre Drummond doesn't really defend anything, and they're really trying to get defenders up in that front court.
It is true. I mean, I don't know. It was just more of like the size and leadership, if anything, because you can say that you want to go young and you want all your players to be young, but then again, it's going to come to a point to where you need the leadership. Like you need veterans, whether they're like minimum veterans or whether you pay them a little bit more. You need veterans, no matter what sport it is.
Mm.
You need your rookies, you need them mid players, and you need your veterans.
I agree. So this next one, there's not really much to talk about. It says Sixers trade house, duck luxury tax. So it says the Detroit Pistons get Daniel House and a 2024 second round pick via the Knicks, and 76ers get to be determined. So I don't really know.
I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to just get rid of them so they can.
Well, yeah, it says they're ducking you.
Yeah.
I guess they were over the luxury tax and just had to drop them. But I've never seen TBD before on a trade. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we'll jump to the next 76ers trade, which is they traded Marcus Morris, Furkan Korkmaz. Korkmaz has requested a trade every season the past 4 years. And you think I'm being dead ass with you. If you go back and look at he's like every season the past 3 or 4 years, he's asked for a trade. And the Sixers just don't give a shit. And haven't traded him.
They don't care.
They finally traded him. That says Marcus Morris, Korkmaz, and 3 second-round picks to the Pacers for Buddy Hield.
I mean, for the Sixers, Buddy Hield's not bad. It gives them another scorer, another good 3-point, and it gives them another good 3-point shooter, which they can be lacking at times.
And he had a 20-point game last night with like Cam Payne did, so he had a pretty good debut.
Yeah, I mean, what is Buddy Hield's contract? Is he on for like 2-3 years?
Yeah, I think
I'm not 100% sure.
I think he's got. I know he signed a 4-year, but that was back with the Kings. No, this is the last year of his contract.
Oh,
interesting. So you know what this tells me? This tells me they're going to try to rush Embiid back.
I see.
You know what I mean? You're bringing in a guy like Buddy Hield, who is you're not getting Buddy Hield to what am I trying to like? Buddy Hield's a good enough player, a good enough shooter that like you want to add him to your contending team. right?
Yeah.
You're not trading for Buddy Hield to just tank the rest of the season.
Yeah,
And the last year was contract too. So like, and it's like you're not going to want to re-sign him for a lot of money. So my thinking behind is like, okay, you're adding pieces, you're adding complementary pieces to your offense, to your team, because you want to go on a run. Well, the only way you're going on that run is if you have Embiid.
yeah, I feel like if the Sixers try and bring Embiid back too soon, it's gonna hurt them more than help them.
Exactly.
Because I mean, if they do bring him back, of course, it's gonna be on a minute restriction, as they should if they do bring him back. But
It just
I don't know. It's gonna do more harm than good for them in the long run.
Them trading for Buddy Hield almost, I don't want to say cements, but damn near cements the idea that it's like, okay, we still think we have a chance this season. Let's get us a shooter on the last year of his contract.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't like that, to be honest. I really don't. But who knows? Who knows? They're GMs, assistant GMs, coaches in the NBA. That dude's a liar.
Yes, he is. Okay, one more trade. The last trade that was on the deadline day, because we already talked about the next one is the Shake Milton, Monte Morris, which we talked about on the Wednesday episode. So the last trade is the Toronto Raptors trading Otto Porter Jr. and Kira Lewis Jr. and a 2024 first-round pick, the least favorable of OKC, Clippers, Houston. And then if it's okay, whoa. Okay, I get it now. 2024 first-round pick, the least favorable of OKC and Clippers, and also Houston if it's pick 5 through 30, and Utah if it's pick 11 through 30. So I don't know. There's a lot of protections on that.
That's
but
wow.
the Raptors get Kelly Olynyk and Ochai Agbaji.
I mean, I don't know. That's just a weird one. I'm gonna be honest. I was not expecting to read that when it came out.
I've been seeing Raptors fans on Twitter thinking that Ochai Agbaji is going to be their replacement for OG Anunoby, and I'm like, I like Ochai, but he has not proved anything. He's young. It's like his second or third season, but he just hasn't shown what are you looking at and seeing? Oh yeah, he could do what OG Anunoby did for us.
I don't know. I'll be honest. This is the first time I've really heard of the player's name, but I don't know.
I was you. I would just go with it. Like, oh yeah.
I mean, hey, maybe they probably see something in him that a lot of teams or people don't, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
He was drafted to Cleveland. Was that 2 years ago? And then like pretty much immediately traded to the Jazz in the Lauri Markkanen deal. When Lauri Markkanen got traded from the Cavs to the Jazz, he was part of that deal. But yeah, no. So I don't know. Maybe I don't.
It'll be interesting. I mean, that's all I can really say. I mean, the Jazz I don't think are gonna be good the rest of the year, and the Raptors, who the hell knows what's going on in Toronto.
They just like bringing in Canadians. They're bringing in another one, Kelly Olynyk. He's from, I think, Toronto.
He's from
Canada up there.
Maybe they're just trying to go out and get every Canadian and just.
I mean, they got RJ Canada team. They traded for a couple of them this year.
Just go out and get every Canadian player and try and win a championship. I don't know.
All right. Well, that is the NBA trade deadline, and I think we both agree the Knicks. I think the Knicks won it.
Yeah, I think it's like Knicks, then Mavs.
And then the losers of the. Okay, so I watched this video by Kenny Beach, and you guys know who he is. And the title was "I'm Done." So I'm like, well, he clickbaited. He clickbaited. I got to watch it, right? He mentioned something in that video that I did not realize. Do you know the last time the Chicago Bulls made a trade for a player?
I seen that video too. It was like 3 or 4 years ago.
2021.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
And I'm pretty sure that was the DeMar DeRozan trade.
That's wild. That really is wild.
They've made one trade since then, and they traded 2 second-round picks for 1 second-round pick. The Bulls Bulls are the. Oh my God, the Bulls are something.
Yeah, and he said something in that video, which was wild. He said about they did like one trade,
Yeah.
and it was like 28th or 29th.
Mm-hmm.
And then the team above them did like 8 trades.
Oh yeah. He said, I don't remember what team it was, but yeah, he said the Bulls have done one trade, and the next team, like the lowest amount, had 7.
Yeah.
So there was a 6 trade gap between 30 and 29.
Mm-hmm.
Which
is wild.
All right. Well, we're gonna jump to the NFL. Right? It's Super Bowl week. Super Bowl is tomorrow as we're recording this. But first, whoa, pump the brakes, bro. We're not. Whoa, relax, Levi.
What?
Whoa.
Hold up. My hands are up.
There's something we got to get to first before the Super Bowl. The NFL honors, the awards, they came out, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So there's a couple things we're gonna talk about here, right? We'll start. The Walter Payton Man of the Year was Cam Hayward this year.
I mean, that's kind of just like whoever they give it to, applaud them. I mean, like I don't really even follow that one.
The Man of the Year one.
Yeah, I don't know who actually follows that. It's like, man, no, he shouldn't have got it. He should have got it, and try and debate about it. I mean,
Dak won it a couple years ago, so that was pretty cool. But we'll get we're gonna start heavy hitter. We're gonna go how they have them listed here on the website, and they're starting with the heavy hitter man. NFL MVP, Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, and he was so close. The first time he won it was unanimous. This time he got 49 out of 50 votes. He was 1 vote away from getting a second unanimous MVP.
Who got the other first?
Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen.
See, and that's interesting because I seen something about it to where Allen had more rushing touchdowns, more yards, I think, and something else. And they were to say, man, Allen should have won it. But I'm just like, didn't Allen have like 15 picks?
Yeah, he turned the ball over a lot this year.
Yeah.
Just what he does, unfortunately. But
I mean, he could have done it some more in that wild card game, but
Hey, I really don't have too many problems with it. It seemed like, if I'm going to be real with you, and I know this is how this is going to sound coming from a Cowboys fan, I think towards the end of the season, I think Dak legitimately did lose the award with the Buffalo game, the Miami game. I'll put this out there. The playoff game doesn't matter. Right? Yeah. It matters like as a team, but like this is a regular season award. So I've seen a lot of people have been like, oh, the way Dak played against the Packers, he didn't deserve it. That game literally just does not matter for the MVP award. This is a regular season award.
Well, obviously, because they come out like this time every year. So you have them 3 playoff games or 2 depending on the team you're on.
Yeah.
It just you gotta cut it off. You gotta just cut it off at the regular season after week 17, before week 1 of the playoffs. Cut it off.
Because that's also so what my train of thought was here is that Dak with that Buffalo game, with that Miami game, I think he legitimately did lose the MVP, right? So I'm not upset Dak didn't win it, but it feels like Lamar Jackson came out of nowhere. It was Josh Allen, Brock Purdy, Dak. And then all of a sudden in week 15, it's, oh my God, it's Lamar Jackson. It's like, whoa, where the hell did that come from? Again, I'm not mad that he won it, but I thought all of a sudden, at the end of the season, he just got a crazy push.
I don't know. Maybe it's because Baltimore was doing so good.
That's
pretty much locked up the 1 seed. It was like, damn, this guy's, Lamar's balling out. You know what I mean, type thing. But
again, like I said, I'm not mad he won it. I like Lamar Jackson. I just thought it was weird how it's 90% of the season we had these group of couple guys, and all of a sudden, boom, Lamar Jackson wins it out of nowhere.
Also, can I just say this? Can we just rename the MVP to the quarterback award?
Yeah,
because I mean that's all that's there. I mean, I know CMC was in talks for top 5, but let's be honest, he wasn't winning it. And it seems like if you're any other position to try and win it, you have to basically break the record. You have to break a record.
Honestly, yeah, I wouldn't have been upset with CMC, but I actually have more to add on to that, but with a different award later, okay? So we'll get to that.
Okay.
Here's probably the biggest surprise of the night. NFL Comeback Player of the Year award went to Cleveland Browns quarterback Joe Flacco. I thought there was no way in the hell the NFL wasn't going to give it to Damar Hamlin.
Yeah, I
just thought there was no way they were going to do it.
I mean, the guy literally died on the field.
Yeah. Now I'll
and
be real
came
with
back
you.
and then played. I mean, how do you not? How do you not? There's literally a feel good story right there, and you
I'm a,
pass it up.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think Baker Mayfield deserved this award. If we're talking about like the actual comeback player of the year, I think Baker Mayfield deserved the award
Oh yeah,
because the difference between Damar Hamlin and Baker and Joe Flacco was that the fact that Damar Hamlin's even playing is a miracle, right? The fact that he died on the field, and there's no taking away from that. But Damar Hamlin just barely played this year. He just didn't. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's like the part of the award is coming back and playing at a high level. And Damar Hamlin didn't play at a high level. He barely played at all. Right? Baker came back from being on the Panthers, which is almost comparable, if I'm being real with you, and led a Buccaneers team to the playoff and won a playoff game. Again, like I said, playoffs don't matter for these awards, but Baker came back and like I don't want to say carried this team, but like I said, he played really well to get him to the playoffs in the first place. And Joe Flacco came in on the back quarter of the season and won some games, but turned the ball over a lot. I don't know if people realize how much he turned the ball over.
yeah. I don't know. That one was a weird one. I would have been fine with either Baker or Damar.
Yeah, I would have understood why they picked Damar, but I would have rather have been Baker.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, the story is, he was sitting on his couch. The next thing you know, he's quote unquote leading the Browns
Right.
to a 4 seed in the playoffs. But I don't know. We already technically knew what Joe Flacco could do. You know what I mean? The thing that really got him was when he signed that massive contract with Baltimore.
Yeah.
But anyways, anything else to add?
No, we'll move on to the next one. We have the NFL Offensive Player of the Year, which goes to Christian McCaffrey because they're not going to give him MVP. I pretty much, kind of like he should have been the MVP, so him getting Offensive Player of the Year was kind of a given, honestly. And I think if CMC would have won MVP, I think CeeDee Lamb wins this Offensive Player of the Year award. I just think that's I think that's how it's going to go. He led the league in rushing yards and yards from scrimmage, so. And he was tied for, I think, the leading touchdown. So, I mean, I think if he wasn't getting MVP, he was guaranteed to get Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh, yeah, and the other thing is I feel like if CD gets the Triple Crown, I feel like it's hard to not throw him in there for Offensive Player of the Year. Hey. CMC, at this point, they should just name the Offensive Player of the Year to, like, non-quarterback Player of the Year and then the MVP to Quarterback of the Year.
Pretty much.
I mean, like, I can't tell you the last time a position other than quarterback won the MVP. I don't remember.
I wonder if I can find that.
Yeah, because I mean, because it's pretty much been like Peyton, Brady, Mahomes, Rodgers, AP when he had that near record-breaking season.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson.
Which I mean, what was that? When was that?
That is, what was that? 2008, 2010, something like that.
Yeah, so it's been like
it's taken back to 1940s for some reason. I don't give a damn about that. If I'm being real with you.
I mean, like in theory, we've had over 10 seasons, almost 10 to 15 seasons of just quarterbacks MVP, quarterback MVP, quarterback MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, when are we gonna see some love to the other position? Now, granted, I know it's hard to not give it to the quarterback because it's quote unquote the hardest position in football. But it's just like you gotta, I don't know. I shouldn't say you have to, but it's just like you can't just keep giving it to the quarterbacks.
All right. Well, the next one is the Coach of the Year, which went to the Browns coach Kevin Stefanski. I'm agree with you. I think it should have went to Dan Campbell. Also, D'Amico Ryans was I think D'Amico Ryans came in second place.
I was gonna say that was my pick for Coach of the Year because he took this Texans team that was the worst team last year.
Yeah.
Or like bottom three. Second. And they won the AFC South and got to a playoff game and beat the Browns by like 20 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it should have been D'Amico Ryans or Dan Campbell, but whatever.
It's Coach of the Year. I mean, it's not really that highly debated.
No, it's all right. We'll just jump on to the next one, which is the Defensive Rookie of the Year, which comes to, and it ends up being Houston Texans. Oh my God. It comes out to being Houston Texans defensive end, Will Anderson Jr.
I mean, I can't be mad at it. I mean, he played good. The other person that I heard about was, I think it was like Jalen Carter.
Yeah, from the Eagles. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty much those two. Insert third player maybe, but it was pretty much just those two going at it, in my opinion. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I think
yeah. Okay, we'll move on. Like I said, there are certain things. Defensive Rookie of the Year really wasn't. There wasn't a big race for it this year. I think, like, there wasn't a lot going on. So I but we'll move on past this one because the next one, I got a couple things to say about this next one. All right, this is talking about Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh,
and I know
boy.
you have a couple things to say too.
Yeah.
It goes to Myles Garrett, right? I wasn't surprised to see Myles Garrett win. I really wasn't. But I know both of us you have a player from your favorite team you think should have won. I have two players from my favorite team that should have won. So I'll let you take the floor first.
So my biggest argument to this whole thing is, for awards, you got to look at statistics. There was not a statistic that Myles Garrett was better in than TJ Watt. And even therefore, Myles Garrett had very little stats that were better or equal to Micah Parsons. And there was a thing to where when he won the award, they had the whole thing, and on the card at the bottom, I seen the video of this. It said top 10 in like tackles for loss, QB pressure, and something else. In every stat, he was either like top 6 to top 8. So you're telling me that the top defensive player, the defensive player of the year, wasn't even the best in at least one statistical category? Are you kidding me? Then you look at TJ. TJ, let's just be honest, outplayed Myles Garrett. And if TJ wasn't going to win it, I would have been cool with having Micah Parsons win it. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. Garrett did not deserve it this year. And in my opinion, this is the second time that TJ was snubbed from the Depoy Award.
All right. Well, I would have to agree that TJ Watt had a pretty damn good case. I will agree with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all knew Micah Parsons was one of the best defenders in the league. Like I said, statistically wise and advanced statistic wise, like if you look at double team rate, you want to look at all that kind of shit. Micah Parsons is better than Myles Garrett. What was better than Myles Garrett this year, right? So there's a lot going there. But my bone to pick isn't with that. My bone to pick is, we talked about earlier, right? When you said the only way for like a player to win MVP that isn't a quarterback is if they're having record-breaking seasons or like they're doing something like crazy, right?
Yeah.
So how come a guy that broke a record didn't get Depoy?
I know exactly where you're going with this, and I mean,
how come a defensive back, scored 5 touchdowns this year on 9 interceptions and didn't get a vote?
He didn't get a vote?
I think he might have got one. I think he might have got one.
But still, that's too low.
And I know you're going to be like, because he got fucking blown out in coverage when he wasn't. No. This is the problem. And I'm not saying you in general, but I'm saying the people in general. People are too fixated on either looking at box scores or getting their opinions off the internet. And you know that just as much as I do. You can't log on to Twitter and expect to get an unbiased take on anything.
Oh no. Twitter or X is the place you go where you want to see bias.
So, explain to me how DaRon Bland got graded as a 90.4 overall grade as a cornerback this season. One of the best in the league. Now, I'll give you, DK Metcalf ran him out the gym. I will 100% give you that. DK Metcalf exposed DaRon Bland that game. And that game was on Thursday night, so people saw it. So people in their mind, they're like, oh, he got burned by DK Metcalf. He's not good. He's getting compared to 2021 Trayvon Diggs, who we know had 11 interceptions, but if he wasn't intercepting the ball, he was giving up a big play. So now people are like, oh, this is another Cowboys corner that's getting interceptions. Well, he must also be getting burnt in coverage, just like Trayvon Diggs was. But he's not been. He had one, maybe two bad games this year. Other than that, he's been damn good. He had a better statistical season than Stephon Gilmore did in his Defensive Player of the Year. And you got one vote? So you can't tell me this award isn't an edge rusher award.
I can't. Because, I mean, you look at the past, I don't know how many. It's been the end or basically a edge rusher the entire time.
Like Aaron Donald. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, he broke a record. 5 touchdowns as a defensive back. That's Madden. That's Madden shit. That is not real life shit. I don't know what you want from him. You want him to lock up? He did that. You want him to be aggressive and get the interceptions? He did that. You want him to get the interceptions and run 60 yards back for a touchdown? He did that. What do you want him to do?
I don't know. I'm in the same boat as you. I feel like he should have got more recognition, or he should have been talked about more instead of, TJ, Miles, and Micah. He should have gotten more. If anything, you take Myles Garrett out and you insert Bland in there. I'm gonna be honest.
Listen.
As you can tell, I do not like Myles Garrett one bit.
Yeah, no, I get it. And again, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that Bland was the best corner in the league this year. So maybe it's like, well, okay, he wasn't the best corner in the league, so he's not going to get. You guys don't understand. I'm gonna be real. I don't think people are watching football games. The vast majority of people are not watching football games to understand how good this guy is. We were missing our number one corner this year, and Trayvon Diggs got hurt in week 3, I think. In practice before week 3, Trayvon Diggs was out for the season. Bland had to step up into that number 1, number 2 role with him and Stephon Gilmore. This guy steps up kind of almost I don't want to say out of nowhere, but basically for the casual fan, stepped up out of nowhere and had a record-breaking year. And like I said, gets one vote. It just, there's some bias in there, but I again, like I said, he was a very good cover corner. He was aggressive and got interceptions. He returned interceptions for touchdowns. As a defensive back, what more? You literally can't ask for anything more than that.
Oh no, I totally understand where you're coming from, and I agree with where you're coming from. It's just like with the MVP. MVP has turned into the quarterback award, and Depoy has pretty much turned into the edge rusher award. I mean, the guy had a record-breaking season. What more do you want? He was good in coverage, like you were saying. He got picks, and I'm pretty sure he had more than just 5 pass deflections the whole season.
He had 9. He had 9 pass breaks.
Yeah, so 9. So you're borderline 10. What more do you want him to do?
He averaged. He gave up an average of 2.7 catches for 37 yards.
What more can you ask for?
And of course the numbers are skewed. It says he's number 73, but that's because they're accounting for corners that are barely touching the field. So it's when it comes to he's top 5 or he's top 10 when it comes to starting corners in that category.
Yeah.
So by every metric, he was a top 10 corner in this league. But you go on Twitter, you're gonna be like, "Oh, dude, he's ass," because he got destroyed by DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf will just do that to people.
DK is just at that point where it doesn't matter who you are. You could be Sauce Gardner. You could be Darius Slay. At some point, he's just going to get tired of it, and he will literally just, in that 5 yards of contact, he'll just throw you off and then just start running.
Yep. He plays a 40% man coverage rate, about 41% man coverage rate, and he shadows the best receiver 45% of the time. Now it's between him throwing back with Gilmore. He gets targeted over 5 times a game and gives up 2.7 catches.
I mean, What more can you ask for from a legitimate starting corner? Because there isn't much more you can ask for.
I'm so upset. I'm pulling out the advanced stats for this shit. That's how upset I am.
I mean, that's understandable. I mean, I feel like people should give the defensive backs more acknowledgement, and even then, I feel like some of these middle linebackers should get more acknowledgement. I'm not saying there was a middle linebacker this year that should have won it, but we gotta open up our eyes more than just looking at, well, you know, uh, he had this many tackles for loss, he had this many sacks. Stop just looking solely at edge rushers. It's like they have a paper printed off of the top edge rushers, and then they just circle 3 names from that list and then send it out. You gotta look at the entire. You gotta look at the entire field. You can't just skew it down to just a couple positions.
So, again, I just had to put that rant off there. Just respect my boy. If he didn't win, he didn't win. But you got put some respect on some people here.
You got to put some respect on their names.
Well, we'll move on now. We'll go to the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, Houston Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud.
I mean, it was between C.J. Stroud, Puka Nacua, and insert third player here, whether it was Laporta.
It was basically them too.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much Puka and CJ, and I feel like CJ got it over Puka because CJ literally, quote unquote, resurrected this Texans team.
Pretty much.
As a rookie. That's the big preference. He resurrected this Texans team as a rookie, along with rookie head coach D'Amico Ryans.
Yep.
What more can you ask for? Won the division, even though the AFC South is not that great of a division, but he still won it.
He was also on Micah Parsons' podcast yesterday or this morning, and him and Micah were debating on how if Michael Jordan could guard Steph Curry. So that was interesting. But yeah, no, I mean, there was no way. Yeah, it was gonna go to C.J. Stroud. Puka Nacua was fantastic this year, and I think almost any other year he does win it. But a rookie quarterback taking a 3-win, I think there were 2 or 3 wins last year, taking a 3-win team last year, leading them to the playoffs, and like they have some decent receivers. Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Noah Brown had a decent year, but like he elevated their receiver core. And that's something a good quarterback does.
Hey, don't forget Dalton Schultz, all right?
I don't even want to. But no, and he helped elevate that team. And same with we'll understand it on the defensive side. Like these 2 guys come in their first year and set such a tone, along with D'Amico Ryans, which good a cause for him to be coach of the year, and take a really bad team to the playoffs.
And I mean, if you look at it, I'm pretty sure CJ was in MVP conversation for a couple weeks.
Yeah, earlier in the year he was.
And then he, I think, missed a game or 2. And
yeah.
But literally a rookie quarterback in contention for MVP for part of the year, there's not really much else you got to say for rookie of the year. I mean,
no, yeah, it was, yeah. Again, I really like Puka, and I think he's going to be fantastic. I'll be real with you. He's kind of a Matthew Stafford merchant right now, and I don't mean that in a bad way. But like, if you look at Matthew, like if you look at some of the best receiving seasons of all time, within Megatron, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, they all have Stafford, and Stafford is kind of the guy that he locks onto his read. Like, he'll throw to one guy, man. He's gonna get the ball to that guy. Let's see if I can. I don't know if I can. I don't want career. Why is it only in career? I'm trying to find, because I can be honest with you. I want to have the stats to back it up, so you're not. Yeah. Oh my God! Ads out.
I mean, the biggest thing was Cooper Kupp. Less 100 yards or so from breaking the receiving record?
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. You have Puka Nacua, who had in 17 games 105 catches, 1,486 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Their next leading receiver was Cooper Kupp, who in 12 games had 59 catches for 737 yards. And then the next one had 495 yards. So it's like the ball was going to one person all year.
Yeah, and like I was saying about that Cooper Kupp near record-breaking season when he almost broke, what was it, Megatron's?
Yeah.
He had over 2,000 yards. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure that was about – yeah, he had over 2,000. Like, it was – I think if he would have had one more game or something like that, he would have broken it. It was like high 1900s or low 2000s.
So he didn't have 2,000.
It was one of the – I can't remember exactly what it was because I don't have the statistics in front of me.
No, yeah, it was 1947. He was 53 yards away.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, that right there is probably half of – or a little under half of Stafford's passing for the entire season.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, like, what? I mean, Stafford just throws the one guy. And to be fair, it's kind of working.
I mean, yeah, they won Super Bowl with that.
Yeah.
And had the Cooper. I don't know. And again, I know that might sound like shade to Puka, but it's really not. It's kind of been a consistent thing where Stafford tends to kind of target and throw to one guy a lot. But we have one more pretty big thing to talk about, right? The Super Bowl. It is the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers playing in Las Vegas tomorrow at 6:30 p.m., right? At Eastern time.
Hey, yo, do you think Taylor Swift's going to make the game?
Listen, I saw the report from Ian Rappaport a couple hours ago. She is already en route from Tokyo to the game.
Oh, shit. I think she'll make it.
She's going to make it. There's no way she's missing this game.
Oh, yeah. Got to have Taylor Swift there. Got to support Travi.
Let's start it out. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your excitement factor for this game?
I mean, 5 or 6. I mean, I don't really get excited for the Super Bowl anymore. When I was a kid, I was like, man, it's Super Bowl weekend, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm just kind of just like, Super Bowl's on. I might watch it. I just don't have that excitement anymore. But I mean, hey, listen, if my team was in there, I would be hyped, jumping about, getting all excited. I mean, I'm excited for the Super Bowl, but it's not like when I was younger. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. I think I'm a little kind of bored with who we have. I was hoping for some new teams, so I'm a little upset we're not going to have that.
No, I was kind of hoping for the Texans versus the Lions.
Yeah. So, what are your score predictions?
So, my prediction is the 49ers are going to win 30-24.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna shoot my shot for the MVP too, Super Bowl MVP.
Okay.
This is gonna be out of left field. Fred Warner, he's gonna have a pick 6.
Oh, this is Madden. You get a pick 6, you're on Mac with Super Bowl MVP.
He's gonna get a pick 6. He's gonna have like 12 tackles. He's gonna have a sack, a strip sack. They're gonna win 30-24.
Okay. I'm gonna go 27-24 Chiefs.
Ooh, game winner?
Yeah. Yes, it will be. Oh, it wasn't, but now that you said that, yes.
Do you think Harrison Butker, is that his name?
I think the Butker is gonna fuck her. No, I'm kidding. I think Butker is gonna win the game for him. I think it's gonna be. Listen, it's gonna be like 15 seconds left. Patrick Mahomes is gonna drop back. He's gonna throw the ball to Travis Kelce. Kelce's gonna be at the 40-yard line. There's three 49ers defenders in front of him. You know what he does? He laterals it. That's all. Kelce does that shit all the time. He laterals it to MVS, and MVS takes it 15 more yards to the 25-yard line, and Harrison Butker gets a game-winning 42-yard field goal.
I mean, that sounds pretty perfect as long as they don't have Kadarius Toney out there to be offside.
I think he is playing. I could be wrong. Okay, yeah, I have the injury report up. The San Francisco 49ers are going to miss defensive tackle Kalia Davis out with an ankle injury. The Chiefs, Jerick McKinnon, the running back, is questionable. And Joe Thuney, this is a big one. Joe Thuney, their starting guard, is out for this game.
Ooh.
So that's not going to help with the edge, with the rush that the 49ers have. But I don't think, listen, I don't think the NFL's rigged. I really, really don't. But I don't think there's any way the Chiefs lose this game with Taylor Swift in the building.
I mean, fair. I can understand that. I don't know. The factor is going to be Kadarius Toney. Is he going to be offsides again or not? No, but I feel like the benefit thing for the Chiefs is the experience. They've been here two or three times now. Three.
What the Chiefs are looking to win their
Was it?
third in 5 years? I think.
Yeah. So they've been here how many times? They know what to expect. They know what to do and how to win. That's going to be the beneficial thing for the Chiefs experience. Yeah. For the 49ers, it's going to be hunger because we all know how last season ended.
Yes.
So they're going to be hungry to get back in. And for the players that were there when the 49ers played the Chiefs the first time, they're going to want to beat them. They have a target on the Chiefs' back. They want to beat the Chiefs.
I agree.
So it's going to be experience versus hunger. Yeah, I feel like the 49ers are going to win.
I'm curious to see. I'll be real. Like the 49ers going in are, I think, the better team. And I think they should be the favorites to win. Just like all around as a team, the 49ers are just the better team right now, right? I think the only difference is you have the best quarterback in the NFL on the other team. And it's hard to bet against a guy like that.
It is, but then again, we've seen that. Well, I shouldn't say we've seen that because Tom Brady, when they played the Chiefs, was still probably arguably the best quarterback. But we've seen what happened to Mahomes and the Chiefs with that Tampa Bay rush.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, and you look at that 49ers defense, I mean, was it Chase Young, Nick Bosa, just those two alone? And then when you go inside, what do you have, Javon Hargrave?
Yeah, I mean, they have for sure. And I think, I don't know, I'm curious to see because they're going to definitely have the aggression. The 49ers defense is going to have that aggression, right? But there's also a very fine line where you're over aggressive now. Yeah. And you're missing, you're acting on aggression instead of what you're supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. And I'm almost worried for the 49ers in the sake. It's like, you know what I mean? Like what you're supposed to run, like say you're Nick Bosa and Chase Young on the edge, and you're supposed to run and contain. Make Mahomes stay in the pocket. But Chase Young comes around the corner, beats the left tackle, and he's like, oh shit, I can dive in right now and get Mahomes. He goes to dive, Mahomes breaks up the side, and boom, now he's open on the run to the left because Young was too aggressive to stay in his game. Yeah. I think that's the only thing that's going to hurt the 49ers is being too aggressive to where they're not fulfilling their duties.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, like I said, it comes down to experience. Chase Young has barely even been in the playoffs.
No, he played in Washington.
Yeah. So, I mean, he doesn't have the experience, but then again, it all comes down to accountability. You got to be accountable for yourself and what you were told. Like if X player is told you run contain, even if you have a clear shot at the quarterback, I want you running contain or at least pressure him a little bit to maybe get him to move and then tackle him, but you're running contain. And you got to have that in your head to be like, okay, even if I do beat the left tackle, I got to try and stay in this box to not let him run. You know what I mean? Until the rush up the middle comes to force him to me or to the other player, or throws it out.
If I'm the Chiefs defense, we've got to make Brock Purdy be this. Now, how are you going to do? Stopping Christian McCaffrey just isn't happening, right? But you've got to do everything you can to contain him. If we saw in that game against Detroit, that first half they had everything in check. They were blowing him out. They were stopping a run. Brock Purdy wasn't playing very well in the first half. And the 49ers came out in the second half. And all of a sudden, those 1 to 2 yard runs in the first half that McCaffrey was having turned into 5-6 yard runs. Now they're missing a tackle. Now he's getting 7 yards. Now there goes a 15 yard run. And all of a sudden, the 49ers offense just started clicking and turned into a completely different team. So if you're the Chiefs, their offense starts with Christian McCaffrey. It runs with Christian McCaffrey. You need to make Brock Purdy step back and beat you.
I mean, to some people, he is a game manager.
Yeah.
But I mean, I say it's not derogatory. You can watch one of the past episodes. We talked about this in length. It's not a quote unquote bad term in my opinion, but no. And also Purdy hasn't been into the Super Bowl before, and he played in part of a NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing where he cannot let the bright lights get to him.
Yeah,
he can't.
Exactly. And I think like I said, you're gonna have to. He's gonna need Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle. They're gonna need to get open for him, right? They're gonna need that offense. That offense needs McCaffrey to get going so they could open up the rest of their offense. Now, if you're the Chiefs, you've got to start with shutting down McCaffrey as best as you can. Because I truly think if this comes down to a duel of the quarterbacks, Mahomes is winning the game.
Oh yeah, definitely. But there are two offensive players for the 49ers that if you are on the Chiefs, in my opinion, you have to keep an eye on. That is Juwan Jennings, who I think is the third wide receiver.
Yeah.
He can make some big plays. He did that against, I think it was the Lions when he had that one-handed catch.
Yep.
The other one, and people might disagree with me on this, is Kyle Juszczyk. There was a play, I think it might have been against the Lions, to where he was just totally uncovered and got like 22 yards.
Yeah.
You can't lose either of them. Now it's like, well, they have McCaffrey, they have Ayuk, they have Debo, they have Kittle. You got to remember to keep an eye on everybody. As hard as that is, you cannot let Juwan Jennings or Juszczyk get 15, 20, 18-yard gains. Because then it's just like, then you're shooting yourself in the foot because now you're paying attention to the other guys.
I truly think this game is going to come down to either this is a game for the oh my god, how I want to say this. This is a game for the 49ers to lose. Like, the game right now is theirs. I think they're the better team. They would have to go out there and blow it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you.
I think it might kind of happen. I'm not like I said. A guy like Mahomes, you can't count him out. You cannot count him out. It doesn't matter who his receivers are. We were talking about how awful his receiving core is to start the year during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
As even with Kelsey not being as good as he usually is this year.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the 49ers games to lose, and I kind of feel confident they might do that.
I don't know. It's hard picking against the 49ers because granted, they did, like you said in prior episodes, they did get they did get punched in the face against the Lions, but they did bring it back.
They did.
So, in my opinion, the 49ers cannot go down to the Chiefs early. Because, I mean, yes, the 49ers offense is built to score fast, but that's Mahomes. Let's be honest.
Yeah. They're built to run the ball a lot, too.
Yeah. It's Mahomes. He's going to make plays.
I think the only thing you have to be worried about if you're a Chiefs fan is how bad the second half offense has been for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because on the flip side, if the Chiefs go down early, I don't know if that offense – like, again, I've been singing Mahomes' praise here for a little bit. Like, Mahomes is fantastic. But I don't know if this offense can come back from down 14 in the third quarter.
I don't know. That's
it's a Super Bowl, right? They might MVS, Rashee Rice, these guys might blow up. We could have one of these games because if you look at it in years past, wide receiver twos tend to play really well in the Super Bowl. It just they get open, right? And this could be a year MVS has 2 touchdowns. And it's like, oh shit, okay. Or Rashee Rice has 2 touchdowns. Or Kadarius Toney, you know what I mean? Like, there's like you can almost look at any Super Bowl. There's always one guy that's not your main staple that has a fantastic game.
And you know who that is for the 49ers?
Who?
Jawan Jennings.
I was gonna say Brandon Ayuk, but it could very well be Juwan Jennings.
It's gonna be. He's gonna have like 5 catches, 95 yards, and a tutty.
That would be insane.
Jawan Jennings is not a bad receiver. It's just he was not in a good situation in college. I'll be honest. Even though he did go to Tennessee, he was not in the best situation in college. But yeah, I mean, like you said, 49ers Super Bowl to lose. If they can get a lead and then just pound the hell out of the Chiefs running the ball and keep getting consistent yardage, I don't know. It should be interesting, but you never know how these things might play out.
Real quick, over under 5 times they're going to show Taylor Swift.
Over.
100%. I almost 100%. There's no way they don't. It's a goddamn Super Bowl. they're going to show her.
Now, if you went over under 10, then I might have to. I think it's going to be about 8 to 9 times.
Okay.
I think it's going to be like 2 times a quarter.
Okay.
Not including after the game, because obviously if the Chiefs win, the camera's going to be on her and Kelsey.
100%.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Hey, maybe Kelsey will propose. Maybe Kelsey will propose. You know, you never know. That's the theory.
Yeah, right. Okay. Even if they lose, we're going to get a video of her going down and hugging Kelsey. Even if they lose.
Oh yeah.
It won't. I don't think it'll stay on him as long. It'll be more of a quick shot. But win or lose, they're gonna pan to her at the end of the game, giving Kelsey a hug or a kiss or something.
Yep.
I
mean, hey, I can't blame her. She's supporting her significant other. She's supporting her boo. I cannot knock her for that.
She's literally she's flying from Tokyo to Las Vegas for this game. So
yeah, I mean, I cannot shit on her for that, because I know people that wouldn't even drive 20 minutes to see their significant other do something for them. So I mean, to fly practically how many hours? After you just did hey, props to her. Props to her.
Yeah, man. Hey, or is Levi turning the corner on the Taylor Swift thing? I don't know. It might be.
Hey, I'm just saying, I admire the fact that she's
just a fan of love. He's just a fan.
Yes, I am.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to talk about with the Super Bowl, the trade deadline, the NFL honors, any of that?
Fred Warner for MVP, Super Bowl MVP, and TJ got robbed.
Who should I call for my MVP?
Patty Mahomes, Travis Kelce.
Okay, so Patty Mahomes is the easy one, right? But you want Fred Warner, so I want to kind of throw one out there. This is it. This is literally, oh my God, is this perfect? Right? Kadarius Toney.
Oh my. The man that that would be wild.
I don't even know if he's playing. I don't even think they're sure if he's playing yet. But
nah, our minds went to different places. I thought you were gonna say was it Justin Reed?
Oh, that'd be kind of funny.
Like Harrison Butker goes down with an injury in the first quarter. He comes out, kicks like 2 field goals. The second one be the game winner, and he's got a pick on Purdy, and he just has a wild game.
What if it ends up being like a 15-12 game, all field goals, and Harrison Butker wins MVP? That'd be awful, man. That shit would suck.
I mean, hey, it'd be props to Butker for winning that. But if it did happen to like that, they'd probably go to a defensive player.
Yeah, you're probably right. But no, I'm trying to think, like, it would just be a perfect redemption for him for how bad he's been this year.
Yeah.
All the stuff that happened before this game. He comes in. I mean, he had a punt return touchdown last year. So it's like, what if he comes in, has another punt return touchdown, and then scores a game-winning touchdown and like a receiving touchdown?
Yeah. You never know. And like you said, there's a phenomenon in the NFL to where the wide receiver 2 or 3 just some reason just goes off.
Hey, like I said, again, like T. Higgins had like a couple touchdowns in that Super Bowl. I know there's plenty more. I just can't think off the top of my head. But it's like there's always the second, third guy. There was
that guy on the Seahawks.
Yes.
We talked about this earlier
a while ago. Yeah, like Ricardo or yeah, I think it was Ricardo Lockett or something like that, or Paul Richardson was another guy, one of them teams.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting. I mean, but we'll just have to wait and see.
That's right. Any last remarks before we get out here before the big game?
Go check out Paul's YouTube channel.
Oh man, yes, I did. I uploaded a video where I added two active legends together. You don't know who they are, even though the thumbnail kind of, you know. And we're almost at 200 views on that one, so go run it up to 200. I should probably record another one here soon.
You also have the New England Patriots dynasty,
I do.
which is slowly killing him one game at a time.
Listen, all Madden or Madden 24 default sliders, it's awful, man. My quarterbacks can't hit their goddamn broadside of a barn. They really can't. We can't. I'll put it this way, so you go watch the video. In episode 2, I had some people we were going against were stiff arming my defensive backs and my linebackers that had no business doing that. Right? They just give them superpowers. Go check out there's a few. I think there's 3 episodes of that right now. Get back into some 2K content, and yeah, maybe someday Levi will decide to show back up on the channel too.
Hey, I mean it's tough with where I live and depending on when you record it because well you know why, but
Yeah,
but maybe you get a free night. I'll text you and we can get something done.
that's right. Well, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Time Out with J&G. This was a good one, and we will be back Wednesday, talking, of course, about what happened in the Super Bowl. And yeah, we will see you guys then.